Hey guys, Jonah here, back with another beer review. And to continue kind of pairing beers up together, I thought I would take the one I did the other day and do it with another very similar brew. So this one is dun 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 Signature Brew Nightline Coffee Porter. 5.7% on the ABV, and it's in a 330, same kind of thing. And this one says, since 2011, we've been creating award-winning music-inspired beers and collaborations, or collaborating with some of the world's best musicians at East London Brewery. So this coffee porter, this beer combines intense coffee tones with dark chocolate to take you on a journey, just like its tour bus namesake. So this is interesting. It says the original gravity 1057, coming out at 5.7 ABV, 25 IBUs. Nightliner. So what would be nice is if they actually said what the band was. It's a purple kind of very dark landscape type scene on the can. Not 100% sure what is going on with that. Nightlighter. Maybe I should have looked it up. I haven't. It should be so obvious to everyone. Well, your marketing person has messed up there because nobody has an idea. Right. I'm just messing everything up today. Anyway, we're using my new tulip glass. Right. Now that everything is in the glass, now we can do one of these and hope that it's in focus. So this beer, very, very much the same, very similar to the one yesterday. Less head, only got half a finger's head on there. Colour is very similar. If you look right at the bottom, tiny bit of brown, but overall pretty dark. Aroma wise, again, very similar. Maybe less bitterness, more pronounced coffee, but we're getting roastedness. You are getting a little bit of chocolate, definitely getting the coffee. Little bit of that astringency, a little bit of bitterness, which is obviously coming from the malts. And look, the head kind of disappeared already, which is weird. A little bit of lacing on the glass, which is always good. Let me see, because I bring this bad boy back up, and should it focus, which hopefully it will do. There we go. So what has it got in there? It has malted barley. It's got some oats. That's what I was looking for. Hops yeast. It's actually got coffee. So they've added coffee to this one. Whereas the other one, I don't think they actually added any coffee. Not that if you're having a coffee porter, it has to contain half a coffee. Coffee. Dwi chi coffee. Little bit of Welsh there for my Welsh brethren. Right, cheers and beers. Let's get into this bad boy. Ooh. Okay, so first off the bat, this one does taste bitter up front. Really bitter. It's got quite a sort of mouth puckering bitterness to it. Don't think it's got any lacto. We do have some lacing forming on the glass. However, the head disappeared very, very quickly. So the smoothness isn't quite there. So I wouldn't be surprised if there isn't a huge amount of oats in this. because usually oats gives you a nice mouthfeel, nice smoothness, which unfortunately this does not have at all. Yeah, so taste wise, it's got that overly bitter. It's got that kind of sour thing going on. It doesn't. It's got coffee definitely, but it doesn't have that nice kind of mocha macchiato chocolate type coffee. If you would say there was chocolate in here, it's chocolate bitterness, like that really dark kind of chocolate. Um, that that basically contributes more to the bitterness and the sourness of this beer than the lovely chocolate taste, the lovely chocolate aroma, which is weird because the aroma, yeah, kind of gives something away that doesn't follow through in the mouth. Um, yeah, I'm trying to pick this apart because it's not a bad beer, but the one the other day I think tasted better. Um, so this perhaps could do maybe a touch, a little sprinkling of kind of lactose, just to make it a tiny bit sweeter. Not massive. This is not a pastry stout or pastry porter, I guess in this case. Um, but yeah, things just aren't there. Look, I mean, the lacing isn't kind of sticking on so much. I mean, it kind of sticks on for a little bit, but then soon falls down the glass. I think this is a good example of perhaps the brewery skimping a little bit on the ingredients and not putting so much in, which is really weird because the ABV is higher. Um, so I imagine there's a lot more pale malt in here to get the sweetness up, but the specialty malts that they've used in here, the oats, things like that, I think they've kind of backed off a little bit on that. So they've got a higher alcoholic level, but unfortunately, as a result, it's kind of stripped some of the flavour out. So I'm not saying alcoholic beers don't have any flavour, but in this case, um, perhaps they've deliberately gone for a higher alcohol beer, um, and it's kind of stripped some of the flavour away, which is a bit sad. Wow, it is quite a well carbonated beer, though. As I usually say, that's a real shame. Signature Brew Coffee Porter, Nightliner, it's called. Um, I think everything else is quite on point. The only weird thing is like I say, I don't exactly know the connection with any bands or any kind of. I mean, it says, oh, it's the tour bus, the world famous tour bus. What tour bus? What band? What are you talking about? Um, so even with the marketing, it's not quite on point because unless you actually go and bother looking it up, which maybe I should have done before this review, but I haven't because I'm concentrating on the actual beer itself. Um, but sometimes I like looking into the stories, but we didn't this evening. Um, yeah, not really my cup of tea, to be honest. I can kind of see what they try to do, um, but it's not full on anything. It's kind of a bit mediocre, a bit in the middle. Yeah. Anyway, almost finished. Um, would I get another one of these? Probably not, to be honest. There we go. Anyway, cheers and beers, guys. Thank you for tuning in for another beer review. Um, I am going to try and stick to my guns and try and link beers together. So do sort of 1, 2, 3 in a row that have some sort of theme, that have some sort of link. So if you don't want to miss any of those, you know what to do. Keep YouTube nice and happy. Click like, click subscribe, do the bell thing, and then it will tell you when my next video is going to come up. Or you can follow me Untapped. Sometimes I don't upload the beers if I'm out and about. I won't do any reviews on them, but I do upload them onto Untapped. So go into the description and you'll see my Untapped profile if you want to keep a track of any of the beers that I'm drinking. Otherwise, we'll see you probably tomorrow for another beer review. And until then, make sure you drink some beer because it makes life really good. Cheers and beers.